The Isle Herrera is one of the most unique and fun takes on this dinosaur, and any dinosaur, dare I say, in a genre ever. It is the most fun playable in the Isle, and I will stand by that until the day I die. And today, I'm going to teach you how to play Herrera. I prefer to play Herrera like a silent observer. I want to know what's going on around me at all times so I can make an escape plan for any possible situation. Herrera, while having a very high damage output and very quick attack speed, well, like damage output in a second, you really do need to think about the next move after you hit them. What is your escape plan? And you see in this clip, what will happen is I take out one raptor, but because I'm in the highlands, I don't really have much maneuverability due to the lack of branches on trees, and that's something I should have thought about when I made my escape. One thing you need to learn about Herrera is that there's no way that you should be dying unless it's your fault directly. Herrera has all the capabilities to not starve, to not dehydrate. If you play it right, you shouldn't fall to death. You shouldn't do anything but kill yourself by your own stupidity. And I admit that I make a lot of dumb decisions as Herrera's, and that's how I die. I trust things and I die. And you need to learn as a Herrera player to evolve and become better. You need to eliminate as many possible bad outcomes by thinking before you leap. Look before you leap. And that's not to say that Herrera isn't a victim of circumstance. Herrera does require a bit of luck to it. And you'll see in this clip right now, if I had been a second later, if I just sat there and ate what I just killed instead of using it as bait or getting out of the way, I would have been dead. I would have been put in an unfortunate situation. And that's why being attentive and being there and present in the moment as Herrera is very important. You need to think that the ground is dangerous. And it's basically like a game of the floor is lava. You never want to spend more time on the ground than you have to, unless you know it's completely safe, because it isn't completely safe. The first actual part of the guide is Herrera's attacks. While falling, Herrera has two attacks. One is the main one, one is basically you shouldn't use it at all. While falling and clicking left mouse button, you have a falling bite, which does slightly more damage, slightly more bleed. But the real star of the show is holding right mouse button while jumping off of something, because it opens Herrera's limbs, splayed out like, I don't know, a cat, and once you make contact with something, it can do huge amounts of damage and bleed to one-shot stuff. As you saw earlier in the video, I was able to one-shot a raptor. It's very useful. I really want to prioritize the idea of not getting greedy as Herrera. As soon as you get one or two good pounces on a creature, you should not go in for more. Once your cover or stealth has been compromised, people can plan things out and bait you out. In this clip, I got very greedy and I tried to bite the Carno, which can one-shot, and I got one-shot. So I'm not even mad about that death because that was completely in my control and I died because of my own stupidity. One general tip I have for just traveling as Herrera, if you have to travel on the ground through areas where you suspect another Herrera may be, hold F and then right mouse button to flash your dewlap. This works as a silent signal for other Herreras to tell when to attack or not to attack, and I'm using it in this example to prevent any Herreras from mistaking me as prey. You can see here in this clip when I unite with other Herreras, you can clearly and visibly see the dewlap shine through the storm even, and that works to signal to other Herreras who you don't have like a voice or VC with that you are communicating to pounce, that you are going to go, that there's prey below you, something is underneath you that you can attack. However, I do not like working with ungrouped Herreras, as you'll see later in this clip. I just believe that they are too noisy and that they increase the margin of error and do not allow for proper ambushes to happen. But by all means, if you're going to play Herrera, please play it with friends. It's so much more enjoyable with friends, but I prefer going solo unless it's with people I actually know. I actually do try to get away and vacate this hunting area because if there's more than one Herrera, it's probably going to be a suspected Herrera area. So, I mean, if one Herrera attacks you, you know there's a Herrera there, and you're going to be constantly watching the trees. And so that area is basically up for other Herreras not to hunt in. And it's amplified by how many Herreras there are, and that's why I prefer to go solo. I tried to move away, they came at me, I killed them. Just with experience, if you just let go of the branch or tree that you're on and hold right mouse button throughout any point of the jump, like you can hold it starting from the middle or the very end, it'll do the same damage. The only thing that really needs to happen is a higher height. So really the time spent with your claws out does not matter. So that can be useful to avoid catching on things like branches mid-jump and actually reaching your target in dense areas. Where this comes in handy is Herrera is actually semi-cannibalistic. You don't see major effects from eating your own species initially. So if you eat a small amount, let's say you eat a hatchling or you eat a chunk of meat from a dead Herrera, you will not see muscle spasms, you will not see vomit sickness initially. You will only be temporarily infertile. As you continue to eat more and more of the flesh, you will see other cannibalistic symptoms. However, you can go with eating small amounts of your own species to subside and get by without any adverse side effects, so long as it's in moderation. Outside of camping popular moving spots, like between hotspots, specifically like the canyon in Highlands, or specific drinking spots or eating spots, hiding in other areas is typically just based on luck and how things across your path. Like in this case, I hunt a baby gator trying to go to Highlands. Scrambling is another big part of Herrera's kit, and it is useful to know, and it is a gained skill, not by like learning, but by playing the game and actually getting a feel for Herrera's kit. You remember earlier in the video when I attacked the Carno and I was able to hurdle it one time, I was able to dodge it twice and get back to a tree, and I got greedy. And in this clip, I was able to jump over the raptor before he pinned me. Just being able to make split-second decisions to save yourself as Herrera is very essential to playing Herrera, and it is how you have to stay alive after making a kill or making an attack or an attempt of an attack. You need to learn how to get out of situations even when it seems impossible. Also, this clip is good at demonstrating on how to make people forget. This was an unlikely alliance between me and Adina Suchis. Dino is actually a really good partnership with Herrera because one attacks from the land, one attacks from the sea. When prey is distracted, moves back farther inland, closer to the edge. maybe by a tree, Herrera can drop down and deal more damage than Dino can in a single bite, actually. But moving back to my original point, you need to see how I'm holding back. I'm not falling for any of the bait because I'm watching the head of the Omni. He isn't looking at the Dino. He's looking up at the tree, expecting me to leap down at him. You need to be able to blend into your environment and make people forget that you're there. And that works especially with the Dino. You see how he plays into it. He's being a big distraction, 3-calling, biting, snapping, and that allows me to actually make a kill and support us both. Another idea you have to drill into your head as Herrera is that you only get one shot at this. You can see me being very finicky and holding back essentially when I'm trying to land a pounce in this Omni because I know that I only have one chance. I've done a very good job at holding still, not moving, not making any noises to try and give him the illusion that I've gone away, maybe to get stamina or something, and I'm not there anymore, so he completely focuses on the Dino. If I jump and I miss, he knows I'm there, I'm in the back of his mind, he might even just run away. The distraction of the Dino allowed me to land a kill on the smaller Omni, and potentially I wasn't even in the back of the mind of the large Omni because he maybe didn't even tell him that there was a Herrera in the area, just seeming to forget, and that allows me to penalize that mistake. The biggest thing about Herrera is you need to penalize people for doing something stupid. And they don't even know that they're making a mistake. You need to punish people thinking that they're in the clear and that they're safe. The way to beat Herrera is to check your surroundings constantly. And if you are attentive, you will always find a Herrera trying to sneak up on you. It's more often than not that there is a Herrera sneaking. Every movement as Herrera should be deliberate and planned out thoroughly. You need to have a plan of what to do next after a move. It's kind of like playing chess, because if you make the wrong move, your opponent can take that information and run with it. It can figure out that you're in an area and leave. So you need to play your cards correctly. When not waiting for prey to come to you, getting the proper positioning to attack prey while they are in a position of defenselessness, as you see in both these clips. The Pteranodon and the Raptor are sitting down, and Herrera comes from above unexpectedly, and that's how you really have to just hunt with it. You have to be unexpected. It's a Sky Dino at that point, because Herrera does more damage than Dino in a single hit. When hunting larger prey as Herrera, unfortunately, as I play solo, I didn't really have the capabilities of taking a large creature like a Diablo on my own. You can see I did a considerable amount of damage and bleed to the Diablo that its attack mates were very concerned. However, I was not able to finish the job, and that is because Herrera is an ambush predator, and you should really be taking things Utah Omni, Packy, Omni, Dilo size, because the maximum amount of damage that Herrera can do in a single jump is 700 damage, and that is its max bone break height, where after any higher it'll break its bones. That's not to say you shouldn't attempt to hunt larger prey. 700 damage is still enough to two-shot Carno or Serrato, and God knows how low Chinanza would be if you hit that. But yeah, I don't suggest hunting larger prey as a solitary herrera. Like I said, Omni, Packy, Dilo are all going to fall within that 700 damage threshold, especially with headshots. You're going to do more damage. You'll see in this clip, I don't get the initial high jump enough to kill the Packy, although what's lucky about Herrera is if you hit from high enough, you will actually stun whatever you were aiming to hit, and that gives you enough time to get away. And you see I was able to land a second pounce from not as high or not as far and kill the Packy. This is also another case of being a silent observer. I'm letting the Carnos distract the Packy and the Stego, which gives me enough time to wait for the Packy to stop, land a successful pounce, and divert his attention. That I needed the Carnos to give me an opening to stop the Packy because he didn't drink. I think that'll be it for Herrera. If you have anything I should go over, I'll make another video, and just anything in specific. I just wanted to try and get a general guide out there to help people play Herrera, because I see a lot of common mistakes, such as people not knowing how to pounce, people not knowing how, like, what they can do. They don't know the limitations of Herrera, and they can't find out. So this is just meant to be a general guide on how to play and how to use Herrera effectively and what you should and shouldn't do. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.